The big story on India ascents. Prime Minister Modi has come back with a historic third mandate, the first in 62 years. His choice of cabinet is indicative of his focus on continuity of reform and governance. Modi 3.0 has a rare opportunity. It stands at the cusp of transforming India into a $5 trillion economy by 2027 and $7 trillion by 2030. This economic heft will also pave the way for India's dominance in geopolitics. But to achieve superpowerhood, continuance is important, but just one among the many things. So what all should Modi 3.0 focus on for India's ascent? Three things. First, it needs to focus on big-ticket reforms. Second, it needs to identify push areas. And thirdly, big resets for governance. In fact, Prime Minister Modi gave a hint of all this in his speech. Listen in.
विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य के लिए हम खूब मेहनत करेंगे, जमकर मेहनत करेंगे। हमारे पास रुकने का, थमने का समय नहीं है। ये राष्ट्र नीति के लिए एकजुट होकर आगे बढ़ने का समय है। विकसित भारत के हमें निरंतर बड़े फैसले लेने हैं। भारत के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए उत्तम फैसले भी लेने हैं।
Now, reforms are needed for manufacturing to grow, for increasing exports. Now, we've emerged as major players in mobile manufacturing, but that isn't the case in other areas. India is punching way below its weight and lagging behind a country like Vietnam, which is a sub-100 million population nation. With the world's largest working age population, India must have at least 5% share of the global manufacturing pie, not the present 1.6% that you see on your screens. In labor-intensive manufacturing, India's share is a paltry 2.7%. And this is an area where we must aspire to reach possibly 10%. For that, Modi 3.0 must invest in semiconductors, electronics manufacturing, electric vehicles, defense manufacturing, all this and much more to grow to the levels that we should ideally reach to be a superpower. Listen in to Prime Minister Modi making a reference of this.
हमने भारत को दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरर बनाया है। अब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, सेमीकंडक्टर और ऐसे नए सेक्टर्स में और तेजी से काम किया जाएगा। हमने देश के डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन और एक्सपोर्ट को बढ़ाने का प्रयास किया है।
Now let's come to boosting exports. For that, free trade pacts need to be signed. Now, America is India's largest trading partner, but it's presently jostling between the first sitting president to have his son convicted and the first former US president to be convicted of felony charges. This political turmoil will delay any trade discussions. And so the focus should be on EU, where trade has grown rapidly. India's ICT exports to EU have grown from about 1.5% to 5.5% in the last decade, telling exactly why EU needs to be prioritized in trade talks. And the last aspect of ensuring India's ascent is to ensure that there is continued investments in infrastructure and people as the two push areas. India has built the highest per capita expressway in Asia, and this momentum must extend to port connectivity. As for investing in people, it is skilling which will help us climb the tech ladder. AI will throw up new jobs, make the present ones redundant. So it's India's 3,000 ITIs and 30 Skill India international centers that will pave the way for ensuring a skill roadmap for Indians. After all, the backbone of semiconductors, defense manufacturing, and continued success of Indian IT companies is better trained manpower. And the last piece of this puzzle, which is the funding part, most crucial, how do we go about funding additional expenses in infrastructure, skilling, incentives for manufacturing? Well, for that, India's finances have improved remarkably. Our current account deficit has declined by 2.7% of the GDP. This means that India went from borrowing about 3.5% during the 2010 to 2013 period to only 0.8% in the past 5 years. And India can now sustain this additional spending by borrowing much less from the rest of the world. And add to this administrative reforms for better governance, and what we get is the roadmap towards India's ascent to be a superpower.